Hey guys, in this video I'll be interviewing the founder of Island Cultures, Mr. Banner. The link to their website will be posted in the description, and there will also be time steps up on the screen just in case you want to skip around and find something that interests you. Alright, let's get into the interview. 11 questions. So you ready for
Okay,
them?
I'm ready.
Okay. The first one is, who are you? What makes you wake up in the morning and makes you drive to make a change?
Well, I am Michael Banner. I always say I'm the son of Carolyn Williams
Yeah.
or Carolyn Peterson
Mm.
and Michael Banner. I'm the son of Michael Banner, so I'm a product of a long lineage
Mm.
of very very special people. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Very family rich people, blood rich people,
Yeah.
uh, very creative, um, very independent, and self reliant hustlers,
Mm.
uh, creators. So all that was embedded in me. I think I bring a lot of that to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially in this area.
definitely. Yep.
Okay. So, and the next question is, what event in our realization prompted you to create Island Cultures?
Well, I had done 3 bids in prison. So
Yeah.
my third bid from prison, before I came home, I decided to stop eating meat.
So
And
you're a vegetarian now?
well, I'm more like a pescatarian.
Okay.
You
And
know what I
that's
mean?
fish?
Yeah, I just eat fish.
Okay.
I try to eat fish like once or twice a week.
Mm.
So by me like doing away with meat,
Yeah.
I became a lot more disciplined.
Mm.
So not only did I lose meat, I lost a lot of the desires that came with that.
Yeah.
So I found myself, back in a community where I did a lot of harm at before I went to prison.
Mm.
And with my new outlook on life, I decided to be more like positive.
Yeah.
And one of the ways I got in was through agriculture. So
Mm.
Island Cultures, it came out of community.
Yeah.
By community, we named our community the Island because we had cut off a street.
Cut off the street. Okay.
First street had been cut off.
Is that like due to red zoning? Or
Redlining. Now it was actually due to Herb. This is how folklore goes.
okay.
Like Herb told me
Yeah.
that the island, basically the street got cut off
Mm.
because he had the lottery in the
Mm.
store. It's the school, what you call it, the school based lottery.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So it was
Mm.
the school lottery. The state implemented North Carolina school lottery,
Mm.
and they would do lottery. They take up all the money in those lottery locations, and then they give the school a portion of that money.
Mm.
So they made Herb's one of those locations.
Mm.
So he was collecting all this money. He was getting a lot more traffic than he was ever getting, for a while. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So he was finding himself with a big pot of money over here.
Mm.
Then he have his own money right here.
Mm.
This money right here, he was turning into NC Lottery every
Mm.
week, and people was watching him. He was carrying large sums of money, so he became a target.
Yeah.
So whenever the white dude used to come every week, come get all the large sums of money, Herb was like, "Okay, well, what is y'all doing with all this money?
All right.
Show me some receipts. Show me something you done in the school system, in our school system,
Mm.
in this community." The dude could never show him nothing. So last time he came,
Mm.
when he came to the store, he threw all the stuff in the street, the NC school
All,
lottery,
all the money in the street.
the equipment, all the
Okay.
lottery equipment.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And he quit doing the lottery.
and he stopped doing the lottery.
Okay, because they were using him but not giving back to the community
They
he was
wasn't
in.
right. They ain't
Okay.
had nothing to show for what they've been taking from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was only getting a little bit of money.
Mm.
They was getting big stacks of money. So their payback to him and the whole street was to cut off the whole street.
Okay.
They'd already shut down this very park. This park had been shut down for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Um, they said it was violent. We ain't never had no violence in our park.
Dang.
This park right here,
Yeah.
it was shut down for 20 years. Herb petitioned the whole community
Mm.
to open the park back up. So he got all the signatures.
Mm.
So they start seeing like the community moving together.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Then we wasn't, he kind of pushed back on the school lottery program.
Yeah.
They cut off our street.
And is it still cut off to this day?
Yeah, it's cut off to this day.
Dang.
So that made us an island. Because you used to be able to get
Yeah.
off the highway right there, get off
Mm,
this highway,
yeah.
come right into the neighborhood, or else you could come right off of Martin Luther King and drive right up First Street.
Is that where that little blockade came from?
Right.
Okay.
So that's how we became an island.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So
Now,
we decided to turn that to an opportunity to create wealth in our community.
yeah,
So that's what we're doing.
spreading wealth. Okay, so how does Island Cultures pursue that mission, and how specifically do they create wealth?
Well, we pursue that mission through primarily agriculture. That's
Okay.
been kind of our hallmark. That's how we got in,
Mm,
you know. And also, me being a person who's justice impacted,
yeah.
meaning like due to systematic racism, uh, due to policies that are made to, police black communities and take money out of our communities,
Mm,
redlining being one of them.
yeah.
Uh, I became somebody who was like justice impacted, so I was going back and forth to prison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So also, I'm an example of what you can do coming out of that space, not really being employable.
Mm,
You know what I mean? But being able to come out here and create something that's socially responsible
yeah.
to move the community forward.
Right.
So it's an opportunity not just off of agriculture, but also due to like all of our lived experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. So I looked at your organization's website,
Hmm.
and it referenced East Winston as a low income, socio-economic, cardio-metabolic status environment. First off, what do those big words mean?
I mean, you got to kind of do the etymology of the
The
word.
etymology. Okay.
But what it says, socio-economic,
Yeah, low income, socio-economic,
right,
cardio-metabolic status.
right. See, like the low socio-economic
Mm,
is meaning basically we're poor. We don't make a
mm,
lot of money over here. We have a low percentage. Like this community right here was the first black community in Winston Salem where a black person could come and buy their own home.
yeah,
That you could be a own homeowner.
it's right by what's the Salem State?
Right. And most of the people stayed over here was
Yeah.
teachers over there. It
Okay.
was called Slater College then.
Slater.
Yeah, Slater College.
Okay.
And Teachers College also.
Mm,
So all the teachers stayed over here.
mm,
There was a lot of teachers, administrators, a few deans, college deans,
mm,
you know what I mean? And we were able to buy these homes over here. But that came after it was already a white community.
yeah.
One black person that moved over here, and I forget exactly which house. I think it was on Fifth Street. One black person moved over here, and due to redlining, if one black person stays on your block,
Mm,
then the whole block is impacted. Nobody on that block can get a federal loan,
mm,
can't get the GI Bill. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're in a red line community.
yeah.
So it caused white flight. White people flew from the neighborhood and black people moved in.
Yeah.
I think it might have been 1941. You had to check my years. But it happened real quick. We went from like all white neighborhood to all black home black home owned neighborhood.
Yeah.
And from there, you know what I'm saying, uh, when they came with the redlining, we weren't redlining came after us being homeowners.
Yeah.
They started like hiking the tax values, giving us like a lot of taxes we had to pay back on the
Mm,
homes. You know what I'm saying? Redlining us. We had the income to keep up
mm,
with our homes. So when they came in and said, okay, now your home is worth
mm,
such and such dollars, a lot of people were selling their house to get the buyout to have more money and stay away from the community. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense. Basically, they was making us pay. They was offering us money or homeowners money
Mm,
to buy their homes that people couldn't refuse. They was willing to sell their home out to people who would turn around and rent to us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it was the white people selling their homes to the blacks?
It was black people selling our homes to realty companies and things like that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So we went from over 90% home ownership over here.
Yeah, and then on your site it also says 7% home ownership now.
Right.
Okay, I see. So that's how we got there.
That's how we got there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We wasn't able to keep up our homes. They started raising the taxes. You come to the end of the year, you owe this amount of money on taxes.
Mm.
We ain't got the money, so somebody come in, pay the taxes, give you, foreclose on your home.
Yeah.
Be able to buy your home for the low.
Mm.
We lose the whole community. So,
Mm.
due to that, you know what I'm saying, we lost a lot of wealth in our community, and it turned to, in the 80s, crack started hitting,
Yeah.
a lot of different drugs started hitting the neighborhood, and we quickly fell to the bottom.
Yeah.
So those became like not only opportunities but also responsibilities. You can't expect somebody outside of yourself, outside of your community,
Mm.
to get your community together.
All
You
right.
know what I mean? So then we started, boarding programs like the Black Panther Party.
Mm.
We had the East Ward. We were the home of the Black Panther Party.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We had our own fire station. You know what I
A
mean?
black-owned fire station.
Black-owned fire station.
Because with the regular fire
They wasn't
department.
serving. They wasn't serving our community.
Okay.
Everything was still segregated up until like what 65.
Mm.
So it was still black fire stations, white fire stations, black hospital, white hospital.
Yeah.
So we had our own hospital. You know what I'm saying? Well, actually, I'm not back from that era, but the way I understand it, this hospital, our hospital is where like DSS is.
Mm.
That was the black hospital. The white hospital was this one right up here, where the university place is. But this was a white neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was the Kate B. Reynolds Hospital.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All
But
right.
yeah, we became magnets for every type of trauma. You know what I'm saying? We were
Yeah.
poor people, and we got hit with the crack epidemic, so we started having to remedy our own stuff. You know what I'm saying? Black Panther Party, fire station, um, our own hospital.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? We had our own bus service, Safeway Bus Company,
Mm.
the largest black-owned bus company in the world, right out off of the street.
Mm.
So we started uplifting that history and try to remind people that we came from poverty, but out of that, we created opportunities. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
To serve our people.
Yeah. And just to expand on what you've been saying,
Yeah.
like around the world and especially in Winston-Salem, it's hard for the black community to build wealth, generational wealth, and things of that nature. So I want to ask you, what type of mindset specifically must be adopted for us as the black community to build wealth and promote wealth and stop hindering each other and grow?
Um. Well, first of all, we have to have a mindset of, we have to lose our implicit bias. Like they said, the white man's ice is colder.
Yeah.
We believe more outside of ourselves than within our own self.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? In our own, in our own humanity. It's not because we're black that we're superior,
Right.
but due to our life experiences, our historical experience, and our genetics and everything that come with it, you know what I'm saying? We are just as equal to everything or
Yeah.
everyone in humanity.
Mm.
So just believing in ourselves as black people, you know what I'm saying, and being able to learn lessons from the rest of humanity
Mm.
and understanding where we are, you know what I mean? We don't want to become uh, comfortable or conditioned by oppression to where it don't sting no more.
Being conditioned by oppression. Okay.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It starts to become tolerable to us.
Mm.
So we have to be able to okay, go back into history and learn those lessons, what made us great,
Mm.
where we lost, where we fumbled,
Mm.
and bring that up into a new age of, things that'll spell economic prosperity for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Start snatching back our industries, become
Mm-hmm.
creators again. You know
Right.
what I mean? You know, and not just forfeit a vast estate off to people who we deem to be greater than us. Just like when they built Innovation Quarter, right on the other side of 52,
Yeah.
we're the closest people to Innovation Quarter, our community, East Winston.
Mm-hmm.
But we immediately, a lot of our people in the community was like, well, that's for the white people.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't want to be participants in that Innovation Quarter.
Yeah.
They put all the sciences there. We had equal opportunity to go over there and take up uh, chemistry or bio technology, nanotechnology, all these sciences
Yeah.
that they had coming out of there. We could have easily walked in, took up those even 2-year courses
Mm-hmm.
with everybody else. Took up the courses with Wake Forest even. You know what I'm saying, in that building.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And start, you know what I mean, start taking on that education.
And new opportunities just to
New,
grow.
exactly.
Okay, so what I got from that is you're saying that the hindrance comes from the belief that since this happened in the past, if they try to help us and they hurt us before, then it will kind of be how can I put this? It will be us saying that we're less than them in a way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. It kind of means like it is. It's a relationship,
Yeah.
that we become comfortable with too. It's like almost like a master servant relationship.
Yeah. Okay. So if they us taking those learning opportunities from them will be like us being slaves and them giving us food.
Right.
Okay, and that's why some people don't take those opportunities, even though those opportunities will help them better themselves and their community.
They could, with the right, like you said from the very beginning, mindset.
Yeah.
With the right mindset, we could take that knowledge and propel our community forward.
Yeah.
But with the wrong mindset, we could take that knowledge
Mm.
and it become just information
Yeah.
that will secure us decent jobs, that will move us out of our community,
Mm.
and you know what I mean, become uh, you know, a water carrier for these people who we feel are greater than us.
Yeah.
We're just carrying water for them.
Mm.
So that don't put us back in the driver's seat. That's why I'm a strong proponent of science, arts, engineering,
Yeah.
things that are not race based
Mm.
necessarily. A lot of times you can get into literature or
Yeah.
history or even politics, and they got the game so bent. By the time you take it on, you're subscribing to uh, internal racism.
Yeah.
Just because you said Shakespeare, you learned everything about everything in Europe, but you never learned about anything from our native cultures. We'll be trained by the same people who went into Africa or Asia
Yeah.
and named our people savages for, being fathers
Okay.
of civilization.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm a strong proponent to take the science and then innovate the science to serve yourself in the community. And
Yeah.
science come in many forms.
Okay. So I personally like the liberal arts and the political, the social sciences and things of that nature.
Right.
So do you believe as of now it's possible to reshape how the field of political science is?
I'm not an expert. I think anything can be reshaped.
Okay.
I just went in through science. It helped me because it's very pragmatic. It's mathematic.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of, it's facts based. It's not
Mm.
opinionated based. But nowadays, I feel very much like political science because y'all have more examples. Y'all have had a
Mm.
black president. You know what I'm saying? All these things have been happening across the world. So a lot of those doors have been kicked down.
Yeah.
A lot of history has hit the internet.
Mm.
It's not secret anymore. Like it's a lot of equal opportunity with the knowledge.
Mm.
Now we're in the digital age. So, you know what I'm saying? You ain't getting mail on that. You can zap it across the world. So I think political science definitely had to take on a different ether. So
Mm.
I think brothers like yourself, you represent the change, like where it could go.
Yeah.
Now, if you said I'm gonna take it on and I'm gonna just be classical, I'm gonna just speak about everything I know that happened in the history.
Yeah.
You just present regurgitating information, it's gonna stay the same. But if you go in there and be more like quantum, you know what I'm saying? You taking your understanding of this politics and understanding that
Mm.
this is not native to the land. It's not inherent to the earth. Some things probably mimic things that take place in nature,
Yeah.
but a lot of these laws are man's laws. How can we make it more function towards us?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just different ways you can look at it. I think it's more opportunity there now.
Yeah.
You know?
And then, so, are you familiar with the term black excellence? You are, right?
Oh yes.
Black excellence. Okay. So when you say black excellence, do you believe it's trying to distinguish excellence based on race? Because is the black in front of it like saying red apple instead of an apple?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you think that's a problem?
No.
I like what you said about black excellence and everything, but
Yeah.
me personally, I feel like it kind of does distinguish it by race. It's basically saying that excellence isn't a norm in the black community, and therefore we must say black excellence
It's not
instead of excellence.
it's not a norm. And I'm glad you brought this up because I was just telling a friend about this
Mm.
earlier. One of the things that, it's always moments in your life that somebody says something to you, negative or positive, that inspires you,
Yeah.
or else it beats you down. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So coming out of prison, one of the people who believed in me was a woman named Mary Ann Forehand,
Uh,
a, like a shorter,
short.
squat little white woman. You know what I mean? She was a missionary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She had like a little short haircut, wore rim glasses, and I had to present myself in front of a board
Yeah.
when I came home. So they say I was a violent offender because I went to prison for shooting somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who had like ran up on me. You
Mm.
know what I mean? So that was my response. When I got out, they put me on a zap board in front of the zap board, meaning you're classified as a violent offender, and if you get caught with a gun
Mm.
or a bullet, they can give you life in prison.
Right.
By being a convicted felon, we can't carry guns. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So, the Zap board was trying to scare me, saying all kind of bad stuff to me. And I was like, it'd be better if y'all came to us with opportunities. I was
Yeah.
pushing back a lot, you know what I'm saying? So the head person was like, he wrote a letter saying, well, Michael Banner, he doesn't respect authority. I give him a rat's ass chance in hell
Mm.
to stay out of here, stay out on the streets for over 90 days.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? That was almost 20 years ago. He was a head federal prosecutor. He wrote Mary Ann Forehead in them this letter.
Mm.
So she called me in her office, was like, well, I very much felt what you were saying. Like, we do deserve to give y'all guys a chance.
Mm.
She said, no. She sponsored me to go to school, and she was like, she gonna sponsor me to work anywhere in the city where I wanted to work.
Yeah.
So I chose Muhammad Herb to work with, Herb Spartans.
Mm.
So it allowed me to work in the community. Um, but one thing that she did, beyond just sponsoring me and all that, one day she gave me a card.
Mm.
It was a nice colored card. It wasn't the most manly looking card. You know what I'm saying? It was like purple. I think it had orange in it, some gold. It had glitter looking.
Yeah.
And the letters were kind of cursive a little bit.
Mm.
But it said, dare to be excellent. And it
Mm.
wasn't nothing about being black. It wasn't no black power card. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? It wasn't even a managed card. You know what I mean? But just by her giving me that card, dare to be excellent,
Mm.
it gave me another quantum leap
Mm.
to get this belief from this older white woman.
Mm.
Pardon me, an older white woman, little squat little white woman.
Mm.
It wasn't because she was so attractive. I was trying to be around her. It was like she believed in me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And she gave me that card, and it caused me to really start striving real hard. I
Yeah.
went from making C's and D's at Forsyth Tech because I was getting out of prison, so I wasn't up. You know, a lot of people was getting out of high school and going straight to college. They were still sharp.
Yeah.
Just took their SAT. They still remember all their lessons.
Mm.
I was learning how to talk again because I was like locked up, sitting behind the cell. You know, I was on long-term lockup, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I wasn't out here. I didn't have no social skills,
Mm.
but I didn't have a lot of social skills. So when she gave me that card, between her and one of my white instructors,
Mm.
he told me, Michael Banner, you're coming in here every day late. You know what I'm saying? I was failing all my classes, making D's and F's.
Mm.
I was running by the bookstore every day, getting a coffee and buying a donut, but still in the second one. I always put two in the pack. You know what I'm saying? I would go up there, buy my coffee and donut every day, drink my coffee, go into class, eat my two donuts, be to class late,
Mm.
do just enough to barely make a D. He was like, if you show up to my class on time, I guarantee you a B. I'm gonna give you a B. He basically just gonna give me a B.
Yeah.
But once I start showing up to class on time, I start making hundreds on everything. I start acing everything,
Mm.
like for the rest of my career. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I got so good at physics and engineering and stuff. Like I was in high level physics.
Mm.
I started teaching back to the teacher, because the teacher ain't know how to solve the problem sometimes. You know what I mean? I was the only black guy in the class.
Yeah.
So all them, it's an engineering class. So whenever you say engineering, that means a group reality.
Yeah.
It's not one person. It's like a group. You're working with a group.
Yeah.
By me being black, they ain't never want to work with me, so I used to have to work by myself. But even so, I didn't even use a TI-83 calculator.
Mm.
I used to draw out all my equations longhand, real fast,
Mm.
neat. And one of my instructors started calling me John Henry. I don't know if you know about that story.
John Henry, no, I don't.
And Tiny Tim.
Mm.
John Henry is the guy who had the hammer,
Mm.
and the white dude with the little train. He had
Yeah.
challenged him that he could make it to the other side of the mountain before him.
Oh, yeah.
And John Henry had the hammer, and he had the train.
Mm.
But John Henry beat him. He hammered all the way through the mountain.
Mm.
I think when he got to the other side, he expired. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But yeah, I was real disciplined with my science, because I knew, it's like Marianne Forehand had told me, I've been daring in a lot of ways in my life, but I hadn't dared to be excellent. So once I started being
Man,
daring, I
dare to be
started
excellent. Okay.
dare myself to be excellent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Didn't go get the donuts and the coffee before class. You know what I'm saying? Go right to class, sit in class 10 minutes early,
Yeah.
sharpen my pencil, open my notebook.
Mm.
I made hundreds for the rest of my career. I made one C.
Mm.
And I'm talking about, I went to Wake Forest, A&T, I went to all these. They sent me on that journey.
Yeah.
I top performed everybody, you know what I mean, by daring to be excellent.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I just happen to be black. Yeah.
Okay. So just to expand on what you were saying, um, I believe that the youth in the black community, I believe that they view excellence as being rich or being
Mm,
having a lot of influence, and
right.
which this influence could be negative through rap
Right.
culture. But based on what you were saying, you're saying that excellence isn't about how much money you got, how much your car costs, or anything like that. It's about how much effort you're willing to put into something that you truly care about.
Right.
You know,
True indeed.
and that mindset of putting in a lot of effort into something that I care about, even though it looks like it won't make a lot of money in the long run,
Mm,
is not common in the black community, especially amongst youth.
right.
So, what do you believe should be done and could be done to reshape that and to promote the mindset of excellence?
Mm. Well, by you framing it with work ethic, you know
Mm.
what I mean? I think just like I saw Japan, the
Mm.
first like 3 years of they college, or the first 3 years of their school career,
Yeah.
kindergarten through first, second, third, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They would actually not test them on how they write words or how they count, but they would test them on things of character.
Yeah.
Are you nice to your classmate? Did you say thank you?
Mm.
Did you wash your hands before you eat?
Mm.
Did you tie your shoes? Did you show yourself to be an independent thinker?
Yeah.
that you follow the crowd. They test them on all them type of things.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we're kind of lacking. We started teaching them early, teaching for the test.
Mm.
If you don't pass on this test, A, B, C, D, if you don't pass on this test, then it's a school to prison pipeline. We don't really have no use for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know, work ethic wise, I think that's like a slave mentality.
Mm.
If you don't fit this frame, if you don't fit this channel of excellence, what we call excellence,
Yeah.
we don't have a use for you.
Yeah.
I think a lot of kids could make themselves useful doing things outside of being trained for a test.
Yeah.
And it's not like God Himself ordained for it to be like that.
Mm.
No, we've never challenged that. We've just bought into the system like, okay, this is just what you're supposed to do. K through 12, do your best, pass the test, go to college, and become excellent.
Yeah.
Not be born of your mother and your father and learn your way, learn your name,
Mm.
learn how to show great character, be a great citizen, make yourself useful in the land,
Mm.
have great hygiene and great character. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It don't have nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
You could be the filthiest, rottenest, look at our
Mm.
president, you could do a lot of vulgar things but still be considered as an excellent person.
Mm.
So just reframing that within our community. It's not for someone outside of our culture to come and tell us that.
Yeah.
I heard it was like that, during segregation a lot. You had to really prove yourself. You kind of had a chip on your shoulder, like you knew you was gonna have to work 3 to 5 to 10 times harder just to make yourself approvable.
Yeah.
Go back to that hunger
Mm.
and knowing that a lot of things that are happening right now are not necessarily negative. Like they take away EBT SNAP,
Right.
they make Section 8, you only get 2 years. Not then you got to get out. You can't be a lifetime Section 8 person
Yeah.
paying $10 rent or whatever it is.
Mm.
You can't just eat very irresponsibly and do all kind of
Mm.
crazy things to yourself and have Medicaid and just run to the doctor and just sign off. Okay, just chop off my leg. You know,
Mm.
you have to kind of do things responsibly.
Mm.
Of course, it didn't come from a place of love that the person who's trying to levy that down to us, but at the same
Right.
time, we could take it as love. We could take it as a challenge to be overcome. So I
Mm.
think we have a prime time to really rise into the challenge of being excellent. You don't have to be black excellence because they know we're black because look at all the things you're putting against us in
Yeah.
society. So we rise up in the midst of all that and become excellent.
Yeah.
Even in the day of DEI being abolished or whatever, we still became excellent. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Even in, the wake of people like Charlie Kirk,
Mm.
who has so much negative stuff to say about black people blatantly,
Yeah.
that's to show ourselves approved.
Mm.
I think and dare to be excellent in a way that
Yeah.
we create something alternative to what they got going on because
Mm.
it's clearly not working.
Mm.
I think that's how we allow the youth to be that change because all the elders we're gonna pass away.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna be growing. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a new world.
Mm. Okay. So this is kind of off topic from what this conversation is supposed to be about, but
Yeah.
since you mentioned Charlie Kirk, who like did said a lot of stuff,
Right.
some good, some bad,
Right.
but it was mostly him exercising his right of free speech.
Right.
But some people get mad at the fact that he views things differently than they do, right?
Right. Right.
And because of that, they want to hurt him, and that just puts a spotlight on a much larger problem inside of America, especially in when it comes to religion or politics.
Right.
So, because of that, do you believe that America would benefit if people began to be exposed to a variety of different beliefs, cultures, and backgrounds, not like just to understand that the other people are human
Mm.
and just like them, to view them in a more humanistic way and to really embody that golden rule of treat others how you want to be treated. Do you think America would benefit if people did that? Like, and Do I need to explain myself better?
Well, you said two things though. You said the golden rule: do it unto others as you want to be done unto you.
Yeah.
But also, you saying like being able to pretty much speak your mind, regardless of if it's favorable to the next person or
Mm.
whether it's digestible, whether they like it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Raw, uncut.
Mm.
See what I'm saying? And that's an honest question.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think like I don't think we have the capacity to understand the golden rule these days
Yeah.
because the world done got so flagrant. Back in the times of Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, you know, things were a lot more simple.
Mm.
It wasn't as exotic with the
Mm.
wickedness. See, nowadays, if you say treat others as you want to be done unto you, think about how many different ways that can go.
Yeah.
I could say things right now that will probably get me censored.
Mm.
You know, just like people nowadays, Trump, Kurt, I don't know a lot of people, a lot of the influencers. What's his name? Charles. What's his name?
Charles Barkley.
Nah. The black dude, Charles White,
Charleston White.
Charleston White,
Yeah.
Charleston White. Like people got all types of speak their mind, you
Mm.
know, and people even naming it as empathy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm so empathy. I feel what other people are feeling, but I'm gonna give you this work though.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So this is America. I personally, um, I prefer people be able to speak their mind.
Yeah.
My motto is stay dangerous. You know what I'm saying? As
Mm.
far as like these days, if you go into a space,
Yeah.
a lot of organized spaces, they're gonna start off with saying like, this is a safe space.
Mm.
We're respecters of all persons. We want to make sure that we don't speak to people in a way that's going to be offensive.
Yeah.
Give them a trigger warning before you say something right off.
Mm.
You know, and if somebody says something to hurt you, speak on it right then.
Mm.
Type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Or that was not nice.
Yeah.
Type. You know what I mean? But basically, what they've done is padded the walls. They've made conversations or dialogue more of a monologue and got a lot of
Bars around it, like
bumper rails.
safety guards.
Yeah, yeah. And
Um.
you're not seeing how people really feel.
Yeah. Okay. So just to like clarify the question a little bit.
Yeah.
Um. Do you believe that the safety guards are a problem with inside conversations because they limit the amount of change that can happen through that conversation?
That's deep.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And oh man, I'm losing myself here. I'm losing myself.
That's a
Okay.
good question.
Yeah. Do you believe that those safety guards can be uplifted if people get to a point where, though they might not like what you're saying, they understand that you're a person, and therefore, because you're a person, they want to treat you like a human, treat
Mm.
you how you're supposed to be treated. If they understand where you're coming from, one, and who you are besides what you believe, you know,
Right.
you believe that it must be some type of exposure to those environments where you're actually speaking to that person, hanging out with that person, seeing how they live outside of what they believe,
Mm. Right.
and that's how you uplift those safety guards.
Hey, you named it. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
That's what it takes though. That's what it takes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I kind of learned that by even studying Japan a little bit.
Mm.
Like Japan was at the bottom
Yeah.
of all the nations, but they send ambassadors to all these different countries
Yeah.
outside of them, and they just start bringing back culture, the best of culture, American culture, Russian culture, like different cultures back to their land, and started making it like honey,
Mm.
like nectar. Bringing it back to the hive and making their own Japan.
Yeah.
And now, they're just so far ahead of us technologically. You
Yeah.
never thought they was at the bottom.
Mm.
So, it's always good to get outside of your culture. You
Yeah.
know, just like even in Winston Salem, you got a East Winston, you got a West Winston. You got a East First Street, you got a West First Street. You got a one-on-one East First Street, you got a one-on-one West First Street. You know what I mean? You got a 515 Fifth Street.
Yeah.
You got a 515 West
Okay.
Street. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So being able to like contrast what it looked like on the east side to what it looked like on the west side.
Mm.
What would it look like if I went over on west side, 1512 West First Street, and chill with them for a while, you know, and learn more about them, things I never would even imagine. So that's what I've had to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially dealing with different science and, you know, different people and food and all that. So being able to relate and learn and become a lot more human.
Yeah. Man, to learn. And that's where the safety guards that's where that's what the problem is with the safety guards. It hinders us from learning from each other.
Right.
Because we're so stuck in our own ways
Right.
that we can't like just merge and learn from each other.
Right.
You know?
Right. True indeed. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that right there.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay. So I'm gonna come back to those statistics that I mentioned earlier with the 7% home.
Okay.
Okay. So on the site it says 7% home ownership, 47% unemployment, 62% of those living in this area experience poverty. These statistics speak of a bigger problem in the community of struggling to build wealth, right?
Right.
And economic security. There are people in East Winston area stressed about money, some even dying over it with gang violence and everything. So what must be done to combat this problem? And not just with what you're doing, but like on a broader perspective, like what can be done inside this community to combat the struggle to build wealth and economic security amongst people living in East Winston.
Well, I'm a strong believer of each one teach one. I think that's one way. You know, I could talk to you, you know, build with you, shed some light with you, and likewise, you know, we get familiar. And when you go to the next cipher, you know, whether it be talking to this person or going to this class or you know, just going out to eat, you'll be able to take that point of view into that space. Now that's not gonna happen immediately, but it can start shifting the culture. You know what I mean? If our purpose is that strong. You know, now if we only have a purpose or a vision of getting a job and, you know, getting an apartment, getting a car note, that's what we're gonna get. That's what we're gonna reach. But if we dare to be excellent, you know, we start having more loftier goals, more radical goals, you know, more earth-shaking goals, and you know, losing our inhibition about, you know, being imposters in the space. We're not worthy. You know, these people are better than us, and start taking up space. Um, I think we together collectively, we start. You know, me and your father talk about this sometime. Going back to the old school, keep your word. See, something as simple as if you're in a society that people don't keep their word, but you do keep your word, that's gonna give you more magnetic, unlike a track. You know what I'm saying? In that fashion, you know, you'll have a charge, and they'll start gravitating to you. Now, how you deal with them could either be, you know, something of, it could be an impediment, it could be like a burden, because if they know that you are good with your word, you are reliable, and you're sacrificial, they're gonna call on you, and you'll find yourself, you know what I'm saying, you'll be devoting a lot of energy to the people. But once, you know, if we get ahead of that and start creating systems to be able to uh, maximize who we are, you know, instead of somebody else sitting back and building a system for us, base it off of what we see from being stand-up individuals in our community. Then we start giving people something to follow, because our people love to follow. I would say up to 85% of our people we're not leaders. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So if we give them something strong to follow, whether it's sports, a way of life, how to eat,
Yeah.
anything, you know what I'm saying, religion, give them something to follow, then our people will naturally just fall into that pattern. And then
Okay.
as they're following, make it be a follow to become a leader. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Start, like we said, each one teach one, start giving them the knowledge
Yeah.
and the wherewithal to become uh have sovereignty. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Not to just take rules, not allow people to just levy rules down on us,
Yeah.
but start being self-governing and keeping our word with each other.
Mm.
I think that'll make a difference.
Yeah.
Beyond, government, all that's good, but if we start keeping our word with each other, regardless,
Mm.
if we was in slavery,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying, we could be at the bottom. But if we kept our word with each other, we was allowed to find a way to get up out of slavery.
Mm.
So even in this form, like we start making ourselves reliable
Yeah.
and show constancy,
Mm.
like the sun, just like the law.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? If you do something wrong, 9 times out of 10, you do it in front of them, they're gonna lock you up.
Right.
Being the same way with good.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And if it's too much for us individually, having the right people around us in the systems to be able to uphold it.
Okay. That's great. That's wonderful. So that's all I got for today. That's all the questions I have. Maybe I'll come up with some more later on.
Okay.
But based off what you were saying about leadership and everything, what would you like to say to the people?
Uh, Leadership. Well, what's been ringing in my head is Asada Shakur.
Okay.
This is kind of what's helping me reground and reroot.
Yeah.
How she said, like, basically, we can easily become comfortable with the oppression
Yeah.
if we're not practicing our culture,
Yeah.
if we're not living out our values. So to become a leader, everybody has to first become a leader of their self.
Mm.
If you say you're gonna get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and do 100 push-ups, eat your bowl of oatmeal and whatever you see is
Yeah.
healthy to you, do that.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And then, like you said, put yourself in environments where you're not always comfortable.
Mm.
Challenge yourself to get outside of your norm
Yeah.
so you can be a more complete leader instead of a dictator with a narrow view trying to force your way on people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you can relate to a lot of people, a lot of your answers will come back to you. You won't even have to present it.
Mm.
You'll be surprised, like you doing this interview, that's me shutting my mouth, relaxing,
Mm.
and it's manifested.
Mm.
Now you brought solutions for me that I wasn't aware of. I didn't
Mm.
read the questions. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So a lot of this stuff is organic. Just being able to trust ourselves.
Mm.
I trust myself because I've been striving to live the right way,
Right.
even in my dark moments.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like if you'd have called me 3 days ago, I might have had a bad day and I might have been struggling with this. I might have
Mm.
had other stuff on my mind, like, dang, but if we live a life of integrity,
Yeah.
then it's easier for us to step into our leadership roles. You know what
Mm.
I mean? So that's the best thing I would tell a person, like, govern yourself. You know what I'm saying? Lead yourself.
Yeah.
And don't be scared to build with other people. Don't edge God out. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? That's what we call the ego. Don't have an
Yeah.
ego and edge God out. If this brother is bright,
Yeah.
sharp, don't look at him as a threat. Learn. Don't
Mm.
put yourself in a space with people smarter than you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Become great. Dare to be excellent.